Hi, welcome to Frontenac Outfitters Canoe and Kayak Center. This is a stand-up paddleboard review of Tuga SUP's Tiff 10.6. The Tiff is a standalone board in Tuga's series of planing SUPs, or they're all around sort of flat water boards. It differs from the Yellowtail 10.6 in that it is 31 inches wide, so an inch narrower, and it has an 1/8 of an inch added in the depth at 4.5. Given the differences of that, this does tend to be a little bit more nimble in the water. Good for riders in that, say, 90 pounds to about 160 pound range, and more geared towards an intermediate paddler based on the way this does perform in the water, because it is more of a playful board. Again, a little more nimble in the water for that rider that wants to do some of that SUP surfing or go out on that bigger body of water with a little more waves and kind of be a little more playful and have more fun that way. Again, a little more experienced paddler will like this board, or maybe that beginner that's really looking to challenge themselves right out of the gate. Talking about some of the features of Tuga SUP's Tiff 10.6, like all their other boards, you have that ergonomic handhold right in the center, kind of wraps your fingers nicely, so very easy to carry. You've got your paddle park right here to stick the shaft of your paddle along the side of the board when you're just hanging out or even doing the SUP yoga thing. You do have a vent plug at the center, and that's because if you leave this board in the sun for too long, you get some air pressure that builds up on the inside, so you back that plug off to depressurize the board. If you don't, given that this board does have the bamboo veneer deck, you risk warping the board if you leave that air pressure in there. As we move to the nose, you've got some bungee rigging up here that allows you to store some of your gear, and then you also have the FCS GoPro mount if you want to take some video while you're out paddling. At the tail of the Tiff 10.6, you do have that standing platform that goes right to the back with the stomp pad here. Again, given that this board is designed to be a little more nimble in the water, when you really want to make it carve around and nice and responsive, you would shift your weight back here, and that stomp pad gives you a little more grip to do so. You've got your lashing point for your board leash, and the sophistication of this board really starts at the tail. You'll notice that at the tail of this board, it's more of a diamond shape, as opposed to the Yellowtail series, which has more of that rounded tapered tail. The diamond tail here again helps that board cut and be a little more nimble in the water when you're riding waves or doing the SUP surfing thing, and it does improve the glide a little bit because you don't have as much drag back here when that single concave is kind of channeling the water to the back of the board. So given that Mauricio, the owner and shaper of Tuga SUP, has roots in surfing in Venezuela, he incorporates some of the surfboard designs into his stand-up paddle boards. Like his other boards, you do have that double concave hull that transitions into a single concave when you move to the tail of the board. So being that this board is a little bit nimble, a little narrower, so it has a little less stability, when you have that double concave at the center of the board, it's channeling the water into two different channels to give you a little more stability, and then as it transitions into the single concave back here at the tail, it puts that channel into one that creates that funnel to improve the glide and give you a little more speed. With it being that 10.6 design, you do have the 3-fin setup. You'll have the 2 thruster fins at the side and your single center. The 2 thruster fins are really going to help keep you in the catch of the wave, give you a little grip as you're doing the SUP surfing thing, and it will help that shorter board track as well. So overall, the Tiff 10.6 from Tuga SUP is a great, sophisticated flat water board, or for somebody that wants to do that SUP surfing or challenge themselves right out of the gate, because you do have a little less stability in this board and a little more nimbleness on the water. Great for the smaller paddler in that 90 pound to 160 pound range, and also the weight of this board is around 25 pounds, so very manageable to lift on and off the car and in and out of the water. If you want to take the Tiff 10.6 for a ride, come on out to Frontenac Outfitters Canoe and Kayak Center. We do free test paddling every day of the week. Or if you want to learn a little bit more about the board, including prices, take a peek at our website, frontnacoutfitters.com. Otherwise, come on out and come paddle with us.